Welcome to the In My Humble Opinion podcast, a podcast that looks to discuss a number of topics that sometimes create more questions than answers. The views and opinions expressed by the presenters are their own and can be assured are utterly and woefully misinformed. If you like explicit content and naive ignorance, then please enjoy at your own risk. Fairy tales.
Okay. Oh my god, are we going to cancel JM Barrett? It's amazing. Helloeth. Welcometh to my humble opinioneth, a podcast of absolute nonsense. Welcome, listeners. Come take a journey with us through the passages of time. And in this time, I mean listening to tales of the past in a fairical sense. So fairy tales. Fairical's not a word, but we're going to be looking at fairy tales and having a little jibe and a poke at perhaps modern equivalents, or having a look at fairy tales from the past and thinking, how fucked up was that? My name is Paul.
My name's Rob.
Hi, Rob. How are you?
I'm not bad. I'm excited. Excited to make the comparisons between this world. We all, adults in general. Oh, we're adults as well, but not really. Let's be honest. But like adults are like, ban computer games because of the violence. Don't watch Blade because you'll have a samurai in your back pocket everywhere you go. Oh, Beetlejuice, no, it's bad for your health. Well, really, let's look back. Let's go back a couple of 100 years and see the fucked up shit that they were spouting out of their evil mouths then to scare children to go to sleep.
This is so true. I completely agree. Yes. So fairy tales by their nature were told around, campfires or in people's living rooms around their hearth to perhaps enlighten and entertain their children into making them do
as they're
fucking told. Yeah.
There was no entertaining. It wasn't like, oh yeah, we're waiting for the 119 bus. What should we do? Should we play I Spy? No, let's scare the fuck out my kids.
Let's have a cautionary tale about if your father leaves your mother and then marries another woman because she's going to be evil somehow, and he's a woodcutter of some description. So
yeah,
they always.
How many woodcutters were there back in those days?
It's a job that was necessary.
Yeah, exactly. Just as salesmen are now.
It's so important. Everyone wants Everest windows. They come into your door. They're looking at your windows and thinking they need replacing, but you only had them replaced 3 months ago by another Everest window man coming round. But
you need the windows. They need the commission. It's a vicious circle. Let's all play Grand Theft Auto.
Play Grand Theft Auto. We'll talk about windows. So we're going to be going through some perhaps well-known fairy tales today that have had alternatives brought in a modern sense to our audience nowadays. So the main factory doing that, churning this shit out, would be Disney, who would be taking fairy tales, putting a secretly cool sidekick that's a gerbil in it, making fun of that, and then, hiding all the facts that, some kid was like pushed into an oven, etc., etc.
It's very much, Disney are like, let's focus on the happy ending. Or actually, let's just invent a happy ending. And everyone's happy and there's talking animals, when the real crux of it is actually evil and disgusting.
It really is. So we've been having a little research into the real stories, and a lot of them are going to revolve around perhaps the Grimm fairy tales, the Grimm brothers from Bavaria way back when. So we're going to be looking deep diving into some of these tales, and we've got a few tales to be telling, some well known, some that you may not know but still have a very dark origin to them.
Well, I think to start off with, should we go off with a couple that would be quite familiar to everybody?
That sounds like a beautiful plan.
Yeah,
Tell me.
So this one, we all know this, Hansel and Gretel. We think we all know this.
Oh,
So we know it's about two kids, wander in the woods, following some little treats, aren't they? Get to the house. They fucking eat some of the house. The witch, she gets angry, tries to cook them. They survive and live, and she dies. Right? We know that. That's the crux of it, give or take.
I always
25
thought,
pages.
yeah, I always thought it was a bit of a cautionary tale about gluttony and strangers. You know, like don't just go around. You see somebody who's eating a delicious jambalaya in the street. You want it. You're following it, okay, and then you go and steal it off that person. You eat it, and the consequences could be terrible. Is it something similar to that?
I don't think. I mean, jambalaya is quite a savoury rice dish, Paul. I don't think like there was a house in the forest made of jambalaya and like other native African.
It's got a prawn ring,
foods.
like little, you know, prawn ring on the door, just like a wreath made of prawns.
Yeah, it could do. I mean, it's possible.
Right. I think I've got it wrong, but yeah, tell me.
I can't wait until we do an episode about food. You know, it's gonna
Like
be
that's ever
interesting.
going to happen.
Right, so anyway, so we all know kind of like the Brother Grimm's version of Hansel and Gretel, and that actually has a happy ending in that one, which is quite rare, But there was a predecessor. There are a few predecessors, in fact, but one of them that stuck out for me is a Romanian one that they go in. The Romanian one is called The Little Boy and the Wicked Stepmother. So this one didn't have that much of a happy ending, I'll be honest. Story of two children.
Yeah.
They're abandoned. But yeah, so I mean that's relative.
They're abandoned?
Yeah.
Straight off the bat?
Yeah, straight off. No, the parents have had enough. They're like, look, you keep pissing the bed. You're not doing your homework. You're treating this house like a fucking hotel. Get out. So they leave because they've lived on a diet of like celery soup. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And then they're hankering. They want some sweet treats.
Okay.
So you know they leave the house. Immediately outside the house is you know like a trail of like celebrations or heroes. You know like the Christmas treat box. Someone's just scattered it out. The foxes have got in the bins, basically. Scattered these shitty sweet treats.
They left the bounty bars because, you know, they always do.
Exactly. Fucking bounties. Yeah, so anyway, so they follow them, don't they? But in this very story, they're actually following a trail of ashes.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm unsure what the ashes are. Maybe human remains, maybe not. Maybe just wood ash from a fire. They follow the ashes. I don't know why. They love ashes.
Curiosity, perhaps?
Yeah.
Mayhaps. Could be curiosity.
Mayhaps to one. So they follow him. And anyway, they get there and they actually return home. But when they return home, the stepmother, the mother that abandoned them, because they've returned home, the stepmother kills the boy.
What? Hold on. A lot's happened there.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Right. So let me try and break this down a little bit. Okay. So right, shit life. So the brother and sister are like, let's ditch these old fogies, right?
Yeah.
Let's walk out. We got a little like handkerchief on a stick with you know all our important things in, like some Pokemon cards, you know, just stuff that they need for the yo-yo. Yeah, you know, half-eaten sandwich that they kept under the bed. They get out of the door, and then they see on the path some ashes. They follow the ashes, which leads them in a circle all the way back to their house.
Yes,
how long were they gone for? Because in that time, it seems like the mother's just gone like,
they come back, I'm gonna fucking kill them.
Yeah, I think they didn't want them to return anyway. I think they pushed them. They pushed them out. They were like, no, get out, be gone with you. They returned home following this trail of ashes. But yeah, upon their return, the stepmother just kills the young boy, just fucking flat out.
Mum, we're back.
You're dead.
like stab, like gets in the door. It's like John Wick, just like hunk, right in the gut.
Kills the young boy, and then actually asks the girl. She was like, "Can you mind cooking him?"
What?
So kills the young boy. Then the young girl has to cook the boy as part of the family meal.
Like it's some kind of really horrible way. Like, I've killed your brother. I want you to cook him now. Like, this is a
Yeah,
real
yeah.
power play by the stepmother.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
fucking cook him. And she's like, oh my God, yeah. Well, I better, because, like, I've just seen what you've done to people that don't do as they're told. So she creates this marvelous feast. 13 courses of
Jesus Christ.
sublime delicacies of this young boy. For starter, the testicles of a young virile man, whatever. Lovely. Goes down your gullet like an oyster. Anyway, yeah, so she cooks him. The boy's father returned. So this is their actual dad. This isn't like,
Okay, like stepdad, or it's like
no,
they're not adopted. This is
Yeah.
their genuine blood
the
relative.
dad. Because it'd be a bit weird if there was a stepmom and a stepdad.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like, so where the parents yeah.
Kind of blended family atmosphere.
Yeah. Unknowingly just eats his son. Didn't have a fucking clue. So well is this meal cooked. And all the others like, oh, it's fucking don't you? He's like, where's Terry? Have you seen Terry?
Oh.
He's got football practice at 3. Like, has he got his kit ready? Oh, don't worry, he's still over Dave's house playing Nintendo. He wasn't. He was in your fucking belly. But the young girl, anyway, saves his heart.
So when they were carving up, she was just like slipped that under her apron.
Fucking put that. Yeah, I'll have that for later.
Yeah.
And she puts it in a tree.
In a tree?
Yeah, in a tree. Yeah, she's like, right, we'll keep that. Put that in a tree.
As you do.
Then she starts adding the bones there after the meal is done. So after they've eaten the carcass and all the bones are still there and whatever, she just gathers the bones and she's like, I'll put them by the tree as well. Why not? No. Dad still hasn't fucking realised. He still thinks
he's sitting there watching he's watching Match of the Day. He's full.
Yeah, exactly. He's like having a Coors Miller Light, just relaxing. And eventually the boy then becomes a cuckoo. So yeah, just turns into a fucking cuckoo bird. Right.
The boy becomes the dead boy.
Yes, the dead boy
becomes cuckoo. How?
Well, it's simple alchemy. It's
like when we was talking about like Drakelo Manor and the heart of somebody and like then crows flew out of it. Is it a similar sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Full of fucking
She's put a fucking heart and bones in a tree and then poof.
Yeah. That's my brother.
Yeah. Tweet-a-woo. And then in her attempts to kill the bird, so
what the fuck you want to kill it again?
Listen, in her attempt to kill the bird, the stepmother dies.
Oh, what a twist!
Yeah, so it's like, it's that fucking cuckoo bird boy.
So was it the stepmother trying to kill the cuckoo? She's like, the boy's back because he's a cuckoo now. And then she has some kind of like hilarious fumbling accident where she's trying to swoop for the bird and stabs herself in the
it's
heart.
Like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, exactly. This is a Tom and Jerry episode. Thomas, get here.
She dies, and that's that really. Yeah. So Terry won, didn't he?
Did he though?
Did he not?
Well, he's not alive. And he's cuckoo now. Does he live with the sister and the father? Did the father realise Terry's gone, or is he
busy?
He's busy, isn't he? Yeah.
He's watching the FA Cup final replay.
It's carried on. He saved all the episodes. He's watching it back to back.
It just comes out. He's like, "Has anyone made dinner?"
yeah. It's like, where's my wife gone?
So really like literally none of that has anything to do with a house full of made delicious morsels, an evil witch, a massive oven. Like none of that is in this at all.
This was like beforehand. So
yeah,
okay, because as we know, we may need to tell the audience, or they may already know, like the Grimm brothers didn't create all the stories. They collected a bunch of like folklore from surrounding areas and adapted it into
lies.
Yeah, lies, essentially. Add a bit of like zazz here, like a gingerbread house there, and then you got a hit play featuring Simon Callow, and he's in there, like, it's like get all the theatrical actors in there, and Ian McKellen's playing the wicked stepmother. But I
Philip Schofield in a cool technicolored coat.
He's spinning around. So okay, all right. So I like the idea of the original story a little bit more because it's actually really dark. But with Brother Tale does make a more palatable story with heroes that are children.
Because I mean,
Getting rid of
even the little daughter, even like this kid's sister, even she's a cunt because like she
Yeah.
just sat there and fucking cooked him.
It sounds like
Like-
Stockholm syndrome. She is like held hostage, and like she's now kind of in love with her captor. Like, I'll do what you ask of me, stepmother. Yeah.
But also loves the boy, loves birds. And do you think she decided, like, do you think she had a choice of what this creature morphs into? What these like bones and debris of all the things? What could I grow? I grow a cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
Like,
I don't know. Because
not like a little Labrador or a little kitten. No.
I really want, like, you know, a bearded
Yeah.
dragon. Like, I hope it's a bearded dragon. I guess, you know, it has to be related to animals from the area, and the way people were in the past. Animals had different connotations attached to them. So
Yeah,
cuckoo might
yeah.
be like life or something like that. So that's
I
how
don't know.
Well,
Because-
cuckoos are strong because they, you know, cuckoos, you know, they whatever with their young, they kick other eggs out of nests and put their own there, and then their lazy
Yeah.
parents, they get like, I ain't fucking feeding this, you do it. This is your
Yeah.
now. And it's in a similar sense as the boy, like the mother's like the cuckoo, and it's like, you fucking feed this, but I know, in fact, I'm just gonna feed myself with you. I don't. It's got really
It could
confused,
be.
isn't it?
It's not really. I'll just think like cuckoo, the bird, the actual bird, cuckoo, is like the most asshole bird that they possibly could be. Yeah, just going in. I'm just gonna pop my egg here and kill your eggs. You're gonna feed this, and then this egg's my chick is actually just gonna fucking eat the rest of the eggs in it whilst you're out hunting for it. That's not a nice look.
No, it's not a nice look. No, you're right. You're right.
I'd rather Terry become like a little sweet little robin. The stepmother wouldn't have actually tried to kill a robin, would
No.
she? So
No.
then she wouldn't have died due to a nasty accident, like Final Destination was trying to kill a cuckoo.
She saw it coming, but you know, she did nothing about it.
Yeah. Oh no, what could happen? Yeah, I got another one then.
Yeah, cool.
So Rapunzel.
Mm.
Now this is nasty. Like it really is nasty.
Is
it's
it not
quite-
like Disney's Tangled?
Well, there's the comparativity. Yeah, yeah. So, remind me what happens in Tangled. Give me the long and short. They live happy ever after.
Yeah, I'll
They
give you a little
fuck.
brief.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Princess gets put into a tower by an evil witch.
Hmm.
Princess has some cool hair. It's really long. She, again, Stockholm syndrome occurs. The witch that stole her is like, I'm your mother, blah 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 blah, but she's not.
Hmm.
Rapunzel feels like she's not really part of it, but whatever, she's trapped in there. Her hair grows really long. It's magical. Some prince stumbles along down past the tower for some reason because he's turned left off of the intersection,
Yeah.
gone right, and he's like, "Oh fucking hell, I'm in the ends here. This is terrible." Looks
Is
up,
there a
sees
little
some-
chef nearby?
Little chef nearby. Got to give me like Olympic breakfast. Looks up at the tower, sees some bird, like, you know, combing her hair, and he's like, "Hello, piece of that." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Throw down your hair, I'll have a little bit. Let me like climb up your hair and you know, put my leg over." And that's kind of it, right?
Yeah, basically, and they live happily ever after, and the witch
cool.
dies.
Yeah.
Well, the original story is actually centered around sex and pregnancy. Like,
Oh,
there's no pregnancy in it, and that's when it comes really nasty. So Rapunzel was given to the witch. Like, she wasn't taken or anything like that. She's given to this witch because now this is like
All right,
this is
okay.
how children are literally a commodity and a fucking currency to these rich, magnificent monarchs. So yeah, Rapunzel was given to the witch because her father stole herbs from the witch's garden to satisfy her pregnant mother's cravings. So the king's like,
Oh shit! What you want? You got a hankering for some time, have you?
fucking hell, this pregnancy cravings. Right, let me pop over there, this haggard witch's house. I'll go get some thyme and sage for your tea. Goes and picks it, he gets caught, and then the witch is like, right, I'll let you off, I'll have the kid. All right.
okay.
The king clearly finds out, oh, I'm having a daughter. Well, what good's that? Like,
Yeah.
is it
They're
no
not
son,
there.
so-
Yeah, can't deal with anything.
Yeah. So they make a deal, a little
Okay.
trade.
Okay.
So
Fair deal.
fair. Yeah, exactly. So this poor defenseless princess is like in this tower, and yeah, her hair's growing long. That's just, I don't know why. It's not magical at all. It's just fucking long, isn't it?
It's just not being cut.
Yeah, it's just not being cut. The witch is like, no, I'm not cutting your hair.
No.
Like, I'm not doing it.
These scissors
Yeah.
are for my time, not for your hair.
Yeah,
I'm cutting time from the
exactly.
garden. And this basil,
Yeah.
these are my basil scissors.
Well, I'd love to, but these are for Basil. So
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, yeah. So the prince just turns up unannounced at a tower. Just turns up, and the pair, so the prince and the princess, begin meeting at night for some evidently unprotected lovemaking.
Oh,
Now that is romance.
that's romance. Evidently,
Yeah.
unprotected lovemaking
Mm,
is
yeah,
the key to romance. Yeah.
it is
Can
absolutely.
I put my dick in bareback? Is that good?
Guess what happens anyway?
Um,
Have a guess.
he doesn't withdraw, and she gives
Oh
up the
my
duff.
God. I mean, you could just say, "Oh, did she get pregnant?" You could say that.
Okay.
We'll
He
go with that. Yeah, he doesn't withdraw. He doesn't.
I
use
shan't
the
withdraw.
withdrawal method that we learnt about in school. Of course, she has no idea what pregnancy is because all she knows is herbs. That's it.
Of course.
All she knows is herbs. She doesn't even know what sex is. She thinks they're just shaking hands.
Thank you.
No. Yeah. Hello. How are you? Good day. Bam, bam, bang. Oh, nice to see you. Cup of tea. Yeah. So she gets pregnant, and the witch is not happy about that. So she says, "Right, okay, off to the desert with you, and go and have your child." And that's it. The prince doesn't follow her. Literally.
What a bastard.
Yeah, he wasn't in love. He wanted to go
No.
up there, shake her hand, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm pregnant." He's like, I
She
don't know.
doesn't want two mouths to feed because she's only got a certain allotted amount of herbs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So
and like,
another one, just throw off the quantities.
yeah,
The yield isn't strong.
it's like, and the king keeps having his fucking little snidey hands all over
He's
them
still
as well.
going for it, isn't he? He's
Yeah.
like, have some more sort of trade them off.
Yeah, I did it once. Why not?
The desert is the last place you want to birth a child. It's sandy
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah. The witch also taunts the prince when he comes to see Rapunzel when she isn't there. So he comes back and she's like, "Oh, she ain't there," causing him to leap from the tower, a move that only ends in him being blinded by thorns. So he comes
Oh.
into the tower and he's like, all right, girl, where's Rapunzel? I'm itching. I fancy a little bit of the old shaking hands." And she's like, "Oh yeah, she's over there by the window." Lol, pushes him. He lands in some thorns and blinds himself. That's no other damage is done. There is a happy ending, sadly though, because eventually, like, Prince does find Rapunzel in the middle of the fucking desert. Like, he's blind. He doesn't
How?
mean to. Smells her scent. He doesn't mean to find her because he never wants to see her again.
No,
There's
but
like, oh, and he
literally.
just, yeah, literally bumps into her, and she's like, "Oh, come here, boy." Her tears then cure his blindness,
Oh,
but the witch doesn't die, and yeah, they just perish in the desert together in love.
in love and they perish
Yeah.
together. What about the
Yeah.
kids?
Oh yeah, it didn't make it.
After all that,
Yeah.
after
They
all
traded
of
it in.
that, they traded it in.
Like some herbs.
They were like, some herbs over there. Like, we got
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see where the story got adapted to make it a little bit nicer. They always make the witch out to be the bad guy, but in fact, I think in this story, she was just.
What
She
did
was.
she do wrong?
She didn't do anything wrong.
No.
She was trying to reap back some cost from the lost yield that she had. You've taken some herbs. I want a piece back. So
Yeah.
enough,
Trade.
down
Pure
to
trade.
the king to like fucking that up.
Yeah, law of the land. And also, like, who's decided that she's a witch? Nothing in that whole story depicts witch behavior.
No,
She's just an old bitch. Yeah.
maybe in old English or German like translation.
Witch
and bitch
bitch.
got like, yeah, it's just come across and been translated incorrectly. I've got a story here. It's a little bit longer than your ones, but
Right,
we'll
nice.
go through it, okay? And it may not be as well known as the ones that you're telling, which, it's great to compare those to
Yeah,
the modern thing. equivalents, but I've not heard of this story. This story is called The Juniper Tree. Okay, and it was collected by the Brothers Grimm. Yeah, a bit of juniper. And this story, the Brothers Grimm, right? Grimm, I think, derived from them to mean like, oh, that's well shitty.
It's fucking grim.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's the Grimm brothers. That's why, because they were like, ugh. But yeah, like this story is incredibly dark. So much like any other story, it starts with a wealthy and pious couple who pray every day for God to grant them a child.
Right.
They are trying. IVF isn't working. They're praying to God. Okay. However, one
Have
winter.
they tried fucking?
No, they haven't tried
right.
that.
Shaking hands.
It's scary. They can't see each other without clothes on because it's a fairy tale story. Doesn't exist. What sex? One winter, under the juniper tree in the courtyard, the wife peels an apple. She's out there in winter. She loves apples. They're growing for some reason in winter.
Under a juniper tree.
Yeah,
quite a tree.
Indeed, it's giving off different fruits. Nice. She might have bought the apple, from another place. Got a pink lady. Yeah,
I fucking love a pink lady, mate.
It's a juicy one. It's a juicy one. When she's peeling the apple, she cuts her finger and drops of blood fall onto the snow, and this leads her to wish for a child, because that's what you do whenever you cut yourself in fairy tales.
Yeah,
you make a wish. She wishes for the child to be as white as snow and as red as blood.
Like just half and half.
Yeah,
like a squashum.
Yeah, like a squashum. Yeah, I want.
Yeah.
I want a child to look like a rectangle confectionery. I love them so much. I want to raise one. However, all right. 6 months later, all right, the wife, she becomes gravely ill from eating juniper berries. Okay, she shouldn't have eaten them. Should have stuck to the apples. And she asked her husband to bury her beneath the juniper tree if she dies. Okay, so she's obviously, that's a representation, a nice place that she likes to be.
The thing that killed the gin.
Yeah, the gin.
I want to die near the gin. Bury me near the gin, boy.
Give me a bottle as I fall down to the ground. He's like, yeah, all right, I'll do that. But anyway, a month later, she gives birth to a baby boy. So all of a sudden, it's not that she's ill, she's pregnant.
Right. So she's not dead.
No.
So she's still alive. Right. Sorry.
Much as we've already decided, people in fairy tales don't really understand how pregnancy works. Like something happens where sex occurs, or they shake hands, and they're gravely ill with some sort of parasite on the inside of them, eating up all of their nutrients. We call it pregnancy.
That's what she wished for fuck's sake.
She does, right? So she gives birth to a baby boy as white as snow and as red as blood. This amazing child, this squashum of joy. Okay,
ginger kid that has sunburn.
I think that's it. Yeah, he's ginger. Isn't he? She dies, but she dies of happiness. She got her wish, so she clung on to the last moments and died. Probably, though, in reality, in the fairy tale, she just bled to death because, there were no doctors around.
Yeah.
Placenta and effluence flying out of her.
Splat.
She's gone. Keeping his promise, the husband buries her beneath the juniper tree. He eventually marries again because he's like, fuck that. She was a bit of ag. Right? I need to shake hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he marries again and has a new wife. They have a daughter named Marlene. And in some stories, she's called Marlishen or Marjorie. It's a variant. So we'll call her Marlene. Marlene.
Marlene.
The new wife loves Marlene, but despises her stepson. All right, because he's white, red. All right, it doesn't understand. Yeah, understand how this is.
Put some fucking sun cream on, boy.
All right. So it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Dutiful stepmother, abuses him every day, claiming that she wishes Marlene to inherit her father's wealth instead of her stinky red and white stepson.
Right, yeah.
Right? As do bloody stepmothers, right? Not like modern equivalent where stepmothers are like struggling and they go and see their stepson and all of a sudden stuff happens that's not abuse.
The dads in fairy tales are portrayed as such loving men. Oh, that wife's died. I'll have another then.
Brilliant.
Yeah. With the men portrayed as like glorious men of honor, the stepmother's like, "How dare you!"
I feel this is because it was mainly men that wrote these stories, or if they heard them, they'd be like, "I'm going to switch this around."
So, they're in
Because
the
she's
inn
a
trading stories, aren't they?
One afternoon after school, the stepmother plans to lure the red and white stepson into an empty room containing a chest of apples. Oh, echoes of the
Oh.
past, right? This is really mean. Like, your mother
Yeah.
loved apples. Come and have some apples.
A chest full.
Marlene, though, however, sees the chest, and she's like, "Can I have an apple?" Which the stepmother gracefully offers. She's like, "Oh, go on then." However, when the boy enters the room and reaches down the chest for an apple, the stepmother slams the lid onto his neck, decapitating him.
Oh, mate.
The stepmother's not done, right? The stepmother binds his head onto the rest of his body with a bandage and props his body onto a chair outside with an apple on his lap. She is fucking horrible.
Yeah, that's messed
Your
up.
mother loved apples.
Which was he now only red or only white since he got decapitated?
I mean, he's predominantly just white now as rigor
Yeah.
mortis setting in.
Got rid of your red head. No, he's just white.
To slam down a chest to decapitate a man. Gosh, she must have
Fucking
been
hell.
wicked. She's got like a shake weight. She's been doing it. I want to get these biceps ready so I can decapitate that bastard. All right, so he's propped up outside on a chair, you know, with a new kind of neck garment on. So trying to keep his head
The head is still in the same place where it would be.
Yeah, so she's
Oh, right. I thought you meant like you just bind it on his chest or something.
he's not a transformer, is he? Right, she's making it look like nothing happened, right? And he's there.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, no.
The dad wouldn't notice anyway. He's on the prowl looking for his next wife.
Marlene, unaware of the situation, asks her stepbrother for the apple. Okay, hearing no response, right, she's forced by her mother to box him in the ear. He ain't giving you the apple. Smack him on the head.
Hit him till he does.
Hit him. You know the rules. If nobody gives anything anyone, hit him in the ear.
I'm going to box your ears off.
Box his ears anyway. That's a weird saying. Marlene does this and causes his head to roll onto the ground, and Marlene profusely cries throughout the day whilst her stepmother dismembers the stepson's body and cooks him into a blood soup or black pudding. Right?
Fuck.
So the stepmother's kind of manipulated the thing to make Marlene, her loving daughter, feel like she's knocked the head off of her brother.
You killed him. Oh, you ate him.
We're having black pudding tonight.
And it's your fault.
Your fault. Cook him. Right, and that's very similar themes here. She later deceives her husband, the stepmother, by telling him that her son stayed at her mother's great uncle's house. She's spreading those lies, and the husband, much like our previous story, unwittingly eats the black pudding, or sun pudding, we call it, during dinner and proclaims it to be delicious.
Compliments to the chef.
Compliments to the chef. These ingredients are familiar. Marlene gathers the bones
Right.
for dinner and buries them beneath the juniper tree with a handkerchief.
What the fuck is going on in their past? Why can't they just let people die?
Now, the Grimm brothers found stories. There is a finite amount of stories, and out of them have come variants. So
Yeah.
Hansel, Gretel, and the juniper tree variants have kind of split off and then caused this exacerbation of stories. So this has happened here. The parallels to your story with Hansel and Gretel are very prominent. A mist emerges from the juniper tree and a beautiful bird flies out. Okay, but he ain't no shitty cuckoo, right? This bird visits the townspeople and sings about his brutal murder at the hands of his stepmother. Captivated by its lullaby, a goldsmith, a shoemaker, and a miller, right? The start of a great...
Three wise men.
The start of a great show. Goldsmith, a shoemaker, and a miller walk into a pub. They offer a bird a gold chain, a pair of red shoes, and a millstone in return for the bird song, so he can tell his story again. Okay.
What the fuck is a bird going to do with a millstone? You
I don't
seen
know.
how big they are?
They're pretty big. I don't know
Yeah,
if this
they're
bird wearing
massive.
red shoes as well.
Oh,
Like
yeah, that's
Mr.
the
Ben
fashion.
character.
A gold chain of red shoes. Things like fucking Fred Durst or something. Bowling around. She killed me, motherfucker. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Let's break it down.
The bird returns home to give the gold chain to the father while giving
Nice.
Marceline the red shoes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the stepmother complains about the raging fires within her arteries, revealed to be the real reason of her anger and hatred towards her stepson. She goes outside for relief, but the bird drops the millstone onto her head, killing
Lad.
instantly. All right, so he's got some aim on him, I guess.
How big is this bird?
He's carrying a fucking like one of those huge circle
Yeah.
millstones. Right, he's got no red shoes on because he's given them up. He's got no
Yeah,
grip.
true.
So yeah, she's dead now. And then surrounded by smoke and flames, the son, revealed to be the bird, emerges and reunites with his family. They celebrate and head inside for lunch and live happily ever after. What a happy ending.
And the king's like, another day, let's have dinner.
A miracle child who's red and white turned into a bird, gave me a gold chain. I'm not
Oh,
interested.
that's why he had red shoes. Do you
Yeah,
think?
Maybe.
Yeah,
But yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So
that's
the
fucked up.
themes are quite parallel to other stories. But yeah, there you go.
That's a good. I've never heard that story before, and I'm going to tell my grandkids.
Yep. Scare the shit out of them.
Yeah, like you. Don't eat all the apples. Do you know why? Get your hands off my pig ladies.
Go there, have a look deep down, get the really good juicy
Yeah,
ones.
get the good one. Get in the fucking closet.
Leave my shake weight alone.
Right, so Cinderella. This
Cinderella.
is just fucking nasty.
Yeah, but Cinderella, though, the Disney equivalent, is a beautiful story of
Oh, it's lovely.
a woman who escapes adversity and servitude, become a princess because of a shoe.
Yeah, Cinderella. She was actually quite a young girl. So Cinderella may be one of the most classic Disney stories. It's one of the first ones as well, I think.
Yeah, it was one of the earliest, for
early
sure.
ones. Yeah. While it sticks to a similar narrative, the original is far more gruesome than Disney's lies portrayal.
Bloody hell, Disney.
First of all, the only reason the prince even gets the golden slipper in the first place, because he gets it. And he's like, oh, I've got to find this woman who fits this golden slipper. Okay. Right, this, yeah. The only
reason... the Disney one is a glass slipper.
Yeah, but it's not got. It's golden. It's
golden in the original story. Okay, all right, I like it. Okay.
The Disney version, they were like, "Oh, gold. You can't make it exactly the same. Let's make it glass." Who the fuck wears glass slippers? You smash a glass in the kitchen. The first thing you do is like, right, put your slippers on so you don't touch glass with your feet. Like, how can you? They're not exactly flexible, are they?
God, no. So Disney were like, along the ideas of Monster Munch. Lidl can't make them, so they call them Monster Claws. They're like, we'll change it slightly.
Yeah, change it slightly, and maybe just animating a glass slipper, so they just didn't have to animate any movement. It was just easier.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, so the only reason he actually has the golden slipper is because he laid a trap on the stairs so he could find out who she was.
Oh.
So she's coming down the stairs. No, she's there. She's like this fucking ball thing, and he's like,
yeah. So the story progresses pretty conventionally here. So she realizes it's midnight and she's got to run down the stairs.
Yeah,
and in the story originally, she's like, "Oh, the slipper falls off," giving the prince the opportunity to then be like, "I want to find my love."
Yeah, how do I find that? Oh, I'll pick up her size 1 fucking shoe. Oh, great. But actually, he's premeditated this. So she said to him previously, like, they're dancing, he's chirping her up. He's like, oh, you're right, girl. Can I get you a drink? Fancy a bottle of reef? And she's like,
You
I'll
stay
have
here
one or
while Blazing
two.
Squad's on. I'll come back in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, yeah, I'll have one or two. I'll have a couple of reefs with you, a couple of Bacardi breezers and that. But 12 o'clock, I've got to fucking go. And he's like, right, she's persistent about this. And he's like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay a fucking trap. I've
Okay.
never seen shoes like hers before, golden slippers and all.
You
So
love
he's
them.
like, right. Yeah, he does. He's got, I'm going to put a trap on the fucking stairs.
Okay.
So that when she runs down the stairs, oh, got ya.
Okay.
So it's like a bear trap almost.
Like a literal
like,
bear trap, or it just traps the shoe?
yeah, it's a bear trap. Fuck it. History. Yeah. So,
Okay. All right.
so he's put this bear trap there. And it's mangled her foot to shit. No, it hasn't. It's just caught the slipper. It's caught the golden slipper. And she's like, oh, fuck. I'm not putting my hand in that. Look what it did to my slipper. I'm out of it. I'm bolting. And he's gone, yeah, that'll fucking teach her. So instead of just like stalking her or anything like that, or finding her on Facebook, or like asking around, does anyone know that bird? No. All right. Okay. Yeah. No, he's just literally contracted this.
Entrapment.
That's a bit of a red flag, isn't it? Really,
It's massive.
Like,
Like an episode of You. Like, it's just...
Is that the kind of man you want to be in love with?
Mhm.
Another big difference is between the original and the Disney version of this is to do with the stepsisters.
Okay,
Right, so-
yeah. Because they're a bit mean towards Cinderella, and they're like, "You look like shit," blah blah blah. But they had their
Yeah.
own insecurities and stuff like that, so they
Yeah.
made her kind of do whatever.
Yeah, definitely. But all of this happens is like after the slipper gate.
All right,
So
okay.
after
Slippergate.
trap gate. But yeah, so the biggest difference in this is the fate of the stepsisters. Clearly, the brothers Grimm, who wrote this original, felt their exploits should see them suffer more because the stepsisters were absolute cunts.
Okay.
So they thought it needed to have like a more terrible things happen to them. And suffer they did in their desperate attempts to fit into the shoe for the prince. Because he stood outside, he's like, come on.
Yeah, he comes
Put
round.
this on.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
coming around your house. If it's your slipper, I'm stealing you. That's basically what it was, isn't it?
It's true. Yeah.
Like, parents were like, don't go out there. There's a man with a slipper. Like,
He's begging young girls to put their foot in it. Don't.
yeah, put it in there. He is a walking red flag. He's a piece of shit.
Something's really sus
Yeah.
about.
But the stepsisters, they were fucking clucking for it. So what they did to resort to them trying to be able to get their feet into the slipper, they
Okay.
resorted to cutting off their own toes,
Oh,
and that's bad, and even the heels to their own feet.
cut their own heels off.
Yeah, not each other's because they're competitive, aren't they? Like, one of
They're
them's
not like
going,
helping each other.
"Hey," they're just maiming
Like
themselves.
I'm with that hacksaw.
Yeah.
To get my heel off.
Oh, can you do mine? No, I'm doing mine. Like,
Shit. Ugh.
so then this obviously, like, then they're trying to put this slipper on, but it just coats it in blood and like just flecks of
Can I
bone.
use a pumice
Shit.
stone? Like, just take a few shavings off.
take a little off, yeah. Or get those fish in the swimming pool thing or whatever it is. Like,
Yeah, pile off some of the dead skin. Yeah,
Yeah.
keep it gone. It's bye-bye. Yeah.
Didn't do that. So they go to they're getting married. They're at a wedding, and the sisters go there and everything. So for the sisters to try and get a bit of their spotlight, they accompany her up and down the aisle. So you've got Cinderella going down the aisle, and you've got these fucking haggardy bitches who can't
On
even
crutches.
walk straight.
Yeah.
Stump legs.
In wheelchairs.
Yeah. This is it. But then what actually happens is the prince orders the flock of birds. So there's flocks of birds at this wedding. Orders the flocks of birds to peck at the stepsister's eyes.
Fucking
And
hell.
she just pecks her eyes out during her wedding day. She's walking down the aisle. Do 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 do. Prince is like, do it.
Oh, husband, thank you so much. I never wanted anything more.
So she's like, fuck, you've trapped me. And he's like, you do anything bad to me, you're next.
It's like a Martina Cole book or whatever. It's just...
Oh, you wouldn't go near him, would you?
No, dangerous.
Ah, absolutely fucking grim. Yeah, shall I give you another one? So, Peter Pan.
All right. Okay.
Peter Pan, this is one of the most fucked up ones, I swear to God.
Okay.
Because there's nothing pretty about this cunt, I tell you.
Okay. All right. Peter Pan's a big step away from the usual Grimm Brothers stuff, is it? So it's J.M. Barrie creating this story.
It is, yes.
Yeah. So he's like, if you see him Finding Neverland, he's like, yeah. This is for all the kids in Great Ormond Street. Live forever, be young, blah blah blah.
Is that why he wrote it?
I'm pretty sure it's something along those lines. Yeah.
Oh my God. He's
Okay.
like, we
Does it
need
make
to
this
do
worse?
yeah. This makes it like Savile-esque kind of thing.
God no.
Like, that's disgusting. Like, he did it to be nice to children that are dying.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Okay. Oh my God, are we going to cancel J.M. Barrie?
Maybe.
Fact: J.M. Barrie did not write the book Peter Pan for Great Ormond Street. He wrote it after the tragic loss of his brother. He did, however, bequeath the rights to Great Ormond Street as a gesture of goodwill.
So we know how Disney did it, right? They're like, oh yeah, Peter Pan is going to make these kids fucking immortal at that age and come
Like
here,
J.M.
you're all
Barrie.
the Lost Boys and stuff. But the reality is, they're called the Lost Boys. Well, they weren't lost, were they? They're fucking kidnapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they weren't lost. They're like, so Peter Pan goes to the Darling family's house. One by one, he's fucking taking these for generations in like the original story.
So it's all the same family.
Yeah, the Darling family.
Oh my
This
God.
particular family, anyway, yes. But there are others. So there's one extract in J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan and Wendy. That's
Okay.
the story. And it as follows. The boys on the island vary, of course, in numbers, according as they get killed, and so on. And when they seem to be growing up, which is against the rules, Peter thins them out.
That's in the book.
That's in the book. Yeah, that exact. That's a quote
So-
from the book.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, holy shit. Okay. Right. My understanding was if they get too old, they become pirates or whatever. They move over. They're too old now. They're pirates now, right? And they just have this
Right.
endless fun war. All right. It's like, oh yeah. Da, 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 da. All right. No. Right. They reach 18. All right. They wake up one night. They're like, it's my birthday. Can't wait. I wonder what Peter's got planned. They pull the cover back, ready to get up, but Peter's standing in the doorway. His shadow's there. Glint of steel comes out. He's like, goodbye. And I just, it's gone. Holy
Say your
shit.
last words.
Peter thins the herd.
Thins the herd. Because he's asked several times through the book, how many Lost Boys are there? He's like, fucking, I don't know. It's Tuesday today. There'll be less tomorrow. But
Oh
then
my
we'll just
God.
remake the numbers up, basically.
Oh my God, so
by
yeah.
stealing more kids.
We've lost
Like,
one. Let's get some more.
yeah, let's rein them in. And if you watch the film, you remember the film Hook. Who's the
I love
older
the film
kid in
Hook.
that? Yeah, who's the older kid who wears all black?
What, Rufio?
Yeah, Rufio. He's he's like a bad tempered teenager, isn't he? Because he
is.
knows what's happening. He knows what's coming.
Do you know
He's like-
why? Because Peter's not there in Hook. Peter left. So Rufio, they've been able to grow up a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy
they haven't been
shit.
getting killed.
No.
They're allowed to live.
Oh my God.
Yeah, genuinely. So if you're growing up too fast, or at all for that matter, Peter will thin you out. Hence the ever-changing numbers of the Lost Boys.
Oh
Yeah,
my
because
God.
the pirate numbers never change.
They
They never add pirates at all. It's like they're like Peter's like doing this whole propaganda thing. Oh, once you get a bit older, you're gonna be a pirate, and they're like, oh, that's all right. We'll be a pirate. You won't. You'll be fucking dead.
Holy shit. Peter is
Yeah.
not the hero originally portrayed.
No.
And that is from the source material.
Yeah, that is in there.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, thins
That's,
them out.
That's actually a mind-blowing fact.
Yeah.
Right, so I'll go through for one of my long forms here. So another lesser-known fairy tale from the Grimm brothers. How some children played at slaughtering. Who wants a story? Yeah. Okay. How some kids played at slaughtering.
Slaughtering
Yay!
is such a violent word.
It invokes a lot of imagery. Okay.
Come on, guys, get tucked in.
Get really tucked in. So in the city named Franeker, located in West Friesland or Freeland, okay, maybe in Bavaria. Okay. I don't know this stuff. A group of young children around 5 and 6 years old. Okay,
That is
right. You know the prime
descriptive.
age. These kids, you know, they
The
play.
prime age.
They prime age for playing games like shopkeeper or pretending to be a salon. Imitating
Mums and dads.
mums and dads. Yeah, that's it's always a bit weird because you're like that young. Don't make. Okay. Anyway, because of the time, they played at being butcher, a cook, and a cook's assistant. Okay, so they're
Oh,
doing
nice.
the course of food, right? So we're 5, 6 years old. I'll be the butcher. You could be the cook, and I'll be the cook's assistant. The role that you don't want to be, because obviously that's the shit. Okay.
Do you have like a waiter coming in, like table 6 complained about their salmon? The butcher's like, it's not me.
However, in this story, it got a little bit too serious. The butcher killed a child who played as the pig.
What?
Okay, the child who played as the butcher was arrested and charged for murder, but the town council, who functioned as a court, never having seen such a case before, was unsure whether to punish such a young child. So, in review, they were playing this game where someone was a butcher, a cook, a cook's assistant, and a pig. Playing the game, the butcher's got a bit too into it and killed the pig, aka a child.
Are you sure this is a fairy tale and not like a
An
crime
actual
watch?
event.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Anyway, so
Bill Sando's like, have you seen this butcher?
and it's just like a small child in like one of those like butcher outfits from Smithies, like
Drawn on Tash.
There's-
Plastic knife.
plastic machete, right? And then there's like behind him's like a kid chef in a chef's hat made of paper. It's like they're dangerous. Don't near them.
They may well be armed. Do not approach. Call the police immediately.
So
Fuck's
it's
sake.
really confusing. So the town council were like, "What do we do?" So an old wise councillor finally came up with a special method to decide if the child was guilty or not. Okay,
Yes.
the days, right? Okay, you're never gonna guess. Okay, what would you think? What would be the way that this wise, well-established councillor would think? We've got a young kid here. They've played the game too seriously. This is my solution.
Has he just crept out of the dark corner of the room?
Get out the wisdom, old man.
I've got a form of justification.
Literally.
Did he weigh him against something? Like in like Monty Python, he like weighs them against something else.
Much like fairy tales of the past, he bought a ripe, appetizing apple and a high-value gold coin, took one in each hand and let the child choose one of them.
Like, what the fuck? They did not have any other fruit back in these days. Apples,
Bananas
what about oranges?
Like, to the 1800s.
Yes.
Right,
What's
it's
that?
all
Oh, that's a kiwi.
what the fuck is that?
Got any apples? Fucking apples.
Right. I feel like this
Right.
is something that would happen during a job interview.
Like Elon Musk.
Right, he had the gold coin and the apple, and he let the kid choose which one. Now, if the butcher, aka 5-year-old murderer, chose the apple, presumably proving that the child still had complete naive mind, then he was innocent. Okay, and he'd be
Right.
free to, if he chose the gold coin, presumably proving that a more abstract understanding of value had already developed in the child was guilty and would be hanged for murder.
Fuck's sake. But by that age, half of them are like chimney sweeps anyway and fucking like working 40-hour weeks. Like, hey.
Right, so the child, fucking hell, hanging a 5-year-old child. Jesus Christ. Right. What are they going to hang him on, like cotton thread? Okay,
Shoelace.
it's not Epstein. Calm down. Okay, so the
Yeah.
child chose the apple without any hesitation. So
Nice,
that
good man.
inferred in court, based off of this fucking stupid logic, that he was naive and was like, apple, I love apples. And there was no premeditated value for the choice. So
Yeah,
he killed
yeah.
the kid. It was just a game, an accident. Right. He
Right.
was released and the charges were dropped. Okay. There is a
outside the Old Bailey, the press are like.
How do you
taking
feel after
pictures.
choosing the apple? Toy car. My dad said I'd get a toy car for today.
The lawyers are stood there like, well, he chose the apple, so it clearly indicates just a framed jewelry.
There was never any doubt that he'd choose the apple.
Goes great
Right.
with pork.
Now, this is in 2 parts. Part 2,
But
different
like the
kind
film It.
of. Yeah, they all grow up and go back and play butcher, chef's assistant, and pig like 25 years later. Part 2. So perhaps a different element to the story. Part 2. One day, 2 brothers saw their father killing off a pig.
Killing
It
him
was-
off.
He killed a pig. All right, the words here say killed off a pig, like it was Game of Thrones. Like, get rid of him. He's done.
Killed him off.
His plot's over. Right? They saw their father kill a pig. 2 brothers were like, yeah, I love that game. They imitated what they saw, and the older brother killed his younger brother. Same sort of similar scenario, right? Okay.
Right.
2 brothers saw their father killing a pig. They imitated that. The older one killed the younger brother. However, their mother was giving like baby brother a bath. Had heard the child scream, abandoned the baby in the bath to find out what was going on. And when she saw the eldest child and seen what he'd done, she took the knife out the younger son's throat and in her rage stabbed the older brother in the heart.
Mate.
When the mother found out that meanwhile the baby had drowned in the tub, she was inconsolable and committed suicide by hanging herself. Okay. Right? This happens in 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. Right? All this happens.
What remains of Edith Finch?
It really is. So much heartache and disturbance in this timescale. However, after a long day working in the field, the father comes home,
God, of course.
finding out that his whole family was dead. Also died from sadness. Okay.
I'm so sad.
This encompasses like there's 2 variants of children playing at slaughtering. Okay. Both have horrible consequences. In the first one, a kid dies but is let off because he chose an apple. In the second one, everyone fucking dies. Horrible. Okay. That is a horrible story. Is something that is actually incredibly realistic that may happen. So I don't know if the Grimm brothers have heard this tale and been like, holy shit, this is gold. Like, we can really make a lot out of this, you know. They're like, you know, this is Saltburn right here. This is like it's gold dust, right, from tragedy. And that's that. So yeah, horrible, right? And this has been told throughout like, you know, hundreds of years.
Do you think when they were gathering the stories, right, they go around, they're knocking about, there's like on the like there's a rumor that someone's child died, and they go around the house, they're like, hello, child's dead. And they're like, yeah, cholera. And they're like, yeah, but what really happened? They're almost like planting these stories in them. Did he ever play butchers? Yeah, he did. Yeah, what role? He was the butcher, right? Did he kill pigs in this thing? Yeah, he did. Yeah, did he kill kids? I mean, pigs. Pigs. And then, like, the quote is like, "She said kids." Like,
She did it verbatim, you know.
yeah,
Horrible, right?
but that's really bad. But like, you know, pigs. And the kid chose the apple. You know why?
Why is
You
that?
can't have pork without apple sauce, my friend.
Clever butcher.
Yeah,
There's the
yeah.
twist, like Kaiser Soze. He's like, I'm gonna add this. I'm adding this in, you motherfucker. Right? I'm gonna make more than 1 gold piece off of this.
Exactly. Pinocchio, the Disney version of it is fucking harrowing. Like the animated one, genuinely, like it's nasty. In it, you know,
There's
he turns them
moments.
all to donkeys and all that
Yeah.
shit. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, they and the asses or asses or
Yeah. The
lasses.
arses.
Yeah.
I've always been uncomfortable with Pinocchio. Like the fact,
Mm.
and I understand as a father as well. You know, if you feel the loss of a child or whatever, and you may want to replace it through your grief, right? But you know,
Yeah.
Petto, it was for slightly different circumstances, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Made
I
me
don't
feel a
even
bit
think
weird.
he really had kids. I think he told people, "Yeah, I've had kids. Yeah, I've had loads of kids.
I've had."
Yeah, I've had them. They've gone. They're not here anymore. Don't ask questions." there was a butchering incident.
Love to play butchers. With me.
Bloody butchers. I'm sure you'll be aware of the story of Pinocchio, particularly. It's harrowing.
Yeah.
There's a couple of crucial elements in it, in the original story, that differ from the Disney one, though. The
Okay.
original one is a lot darker. Right, the big super dark difference is that as a result of Pinocchio's bad behaviour, you know, as a scallywag, he gets pissed.
Yeah.
He gets pissed. He
Hick, hick.
gambles.
Yeah.
He does all that. Starts becoming an ass.
Sin.
Sin, yeah. I mean, what do we know is the worst that happened to him? What, he got told off, and Jiminy Cricket got him back on the right path.
Yeah, it's kind of like pushing back onto his moral high ground.
Yeah,
Like, just
moral
do
ground.
this. Yeah, like come on. Yeah, sort yourself out.
And he did all right in the end, didn't he? He became a real boy, in fact.
He did.
Didn't he?
Yeah, a real.
He
boy.
became a real boy. Giuseppe was happy.
Giuseppe.
The two Giuseppe.
Giuseppe.
Geppetto. He was happy.
He's not like a pizza owner. Is
Is he not? He must have been. He had an oven
fine.
where he put his previous children. They're all happy. The fish is happy in the fucking fish tank. The two foxes are happy. Pinocchio was happy. But do you know what actually happened?
Tell me.
Due to Pinocchio's naughty behaviour, he was hung.
Pinocchio,
the fucking puppet. He was hung, and that's it.
So because of his like miscreant ways, he'd incurred a lot of debt. He goes into a lot of trouble, whoring and gambling.
He
got hung by his own strings.
By his own father. Like, the Slappy. He was like, right, I'm just gonna fucking hang you then. You're dead.
Oh.
Right, and then because Jiminy Cricket,
Okay.
because he didn't do his duty, he didn't put him on a straight and narrow. He didn't repair the damage of which this little gambling fuckhead is doing. Do you know what happened to him? The little cricket.
The cricket, yeah, go on.
They hung him.
They hung him as well.
Yeah. So
tiny gallows.
They hung a child puppet that was not real.
No.
That didn't have lungs,
No.
so couldn't breathe. So there was no point in hanging him.
Right. People in the gambling den are just like, it was his fault. There's a fucking bag of wood over there. Hang him.
Hang him.
Look, and then next to him, it was his fault too.
The cricket's like walking away, like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. No one's gonna see me with his little umbrella. And they're like, Andrew, come here. Done.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Right, so Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, I know why you like that one.
Yeah.
Esmeralda should get herself got. You'll be aware of Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame. We all are. Where Frollo, you're aware of it. Frollo is the only one that falls to his death, right?
Yeah. He was a bastard anyway. As a bad guy in a Disney film, he was
very good. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't good. He was very bad.
No,
but he was good.
The character was good. Yeah.
Great casting as well.
Never really scared of Disney villains because there's always a comical element to him. But he was like, he had this horrible air, religious like piety and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was shitty. Yeah,
he was good. And he was manipulative, wasn't he? Like the way he touched him. Like not like that. He pressed his hand on on Quasimodo's back and reassure him
Yeah,
at
yeah,
times,
like
but
those
also think,
manipulating.
you ugly cunt.
Yeah. He wanted the gypsy girl for his own. Oh, he had it all. Yeah.
Oh man, if my son's girlfriend looked like that. Shit, son. Frollo is the only one who falls to his death, right?
Yeah.
And Quasimodo, Esmeralda, and Phoebus survive as heroes. But the original novel, Hunchback of Notre Dame, is quite a different ending, to be honest. When Frollo escapes, Esmeralda is the only suspect for Phoebus's stabbing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Esmeralda is the only suspect.
Cool.
Esmeralda gets tied to the stake, doesn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah.
And there's fire. Then Quasimodo's
Religious death.
yeah,
Yep.
religious death.
Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's the only way.
it's it. Burn them dead.
Burn and fire.
Then
Yeah.
burn them with fire till dead. And then Quasimodo comes bowling in, doesn't he? And he saves her and all that. And it's like go upstairs and
Do a little song. Birds fly.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Love.
Love.
Frollo falls off the edge, but that doesn't happen in there. She gets put on trial, so she gets called a suspect for that chap's murder. She gets put on trial, and the sentence is to death. When she, unaware that Phoebus is still alive,
Yep.
that she gets sentenced to death. Falsely confesses to witchcraft and murder. So she confesses to
Coercion. Yep. Tactics by the
Exactly.
police there. Yeah.
yeah. Quasimodo fails to actually protect her in the original. Frollo releases her to an angry mob.
Oh my God.
So that he knows she's innocent because he did the stabbing.
Yes.
And all he
Yes.
wants to do is bang Esmeralda. But he's like, nah, I'm going to release you to an angry mob. What's this man's kicks?
I don't
Like,
know.
I want to fuck you, but I want you beaten. Yeah. And she's eventually hung. And in his despair, Quasimodo pushes Frollo from the tower. So the ending years later, so it skips forward in this book.
Yeah.
Some stuff happens, I don't know.
He grows a
Whatever.
beard.
Yeah.
Half a beard, maybe, because, that face. Yeah. Only your mother can love it.
Yes, shit.
But he doesn't have one, so she can't.
It's an orphan. Lol. No, lol. Oh, lol. So the ending years later sees the skeletons of a hunchback and a woman embracing in Esmeralda's tomb.
Oh,
How cute is that? What a
it's
lovely
kind of
happy
a
ending.
bittersweet ending, really. So, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
Disney couldn't do that because that's quite dark.
Yeah.
So give them the happy ending where they survive and have, I don't know, hunchback kids with green eyes and stuff. But Frodo got his just desserts. I don't know which one I prefer, actually. I think I prefer the real ending.
Yeah, I would. It's more depth.
Yeah, a bit of drama to it.
Yeah.
I've got one final tale here, so we can review this, have a little listen to another grim fairy tale that may not be so well known. And this one is called The Story of the Youth Who Went Forth to Learn What Fear Was.
Fuck me.
Right, this one is not a
This is
catchy
like-
title.
Like a Harry Potter story. Like the Deathly Hallows Part 1 to 5.
The Story of the Youth and the Philosopher's Stone. A father had two sons.
Gotta have more than one, don't you, just in case.
Like infant mortality rates, you've got to have a couple so they survive. It's got to be done. So yeah,
Butchers everywhere out there.
don't play that game. Stay away from it, kids. A father had two sons. There was a dim-witted younger son, and the dim-witted son, when asked by his father what he would like to learn to support himself, said he would like to learn how to shudder, as in learn to have fear.
What?
So the dim-witted son, because he can't express himself very well, wasn't really scared of much. Maybe didn't understand it, and he wanted to learn to have fear because
I see.
fear is useful as a survival tactic, isn't it? You're scared of
Yeah.
something, you escape. A sexton, I guess, which is like a religious person, right, in the past, told the father that he could teach the boy. Okay.
I'll teach him fear.
Yes. Okay.
No, it
Now,
can't be.
no, hold on, calm down. All right.
Oh.
It's not quite like so. After teaching him to ring the church bell, he sent him one midnight to ring it, and came in after him dressed as a ghost.
Right. Yeah.
A simple fear tactic. You know, like when someone has hiccups, you dress up as a ghost and try to jump out of them. Got no hiccups.
I got the hiccups. Go outside, ring the doorbell. Boom.
Right, so he's like, this is a great idea. Put his little sheet on. Tried to do it right. The boy then demanded an explanation when he saw the priest. So when the sexton didn't answer because he's dressed up as a ghost, the boy, unafraid, pushed him down the stairs, breaking his leg.
Oh my god.
So he's kind of just been like,
Oh,
oh,
flight, though.
who are you? Push. Right? He's not
Yeah.
fucking stupid either, even though he's painted out to be dim-witted. He's like, you're a man in a sheet. You're not answering me. I'm in a church alone, ringing a bell. Off you go, right? He's just put him down the stairs.
Sounds more rude than anything. Why don't you answer me? Wait, mate. Who are you, mate? Right, tell me now. Who are you? No, right, you boosh.
Right, downstairs he goes, and then like he's broken his leg. It's all backwards and mangled. The father finds out and he's horrified, and he turns him out the house. Out he goes, like, you bloody pushed the sexton down the stairs, and now he's all broken legged and stuff. Get out. The boy set out to learn how to shudder, to learn fear. Right, he's like, fuck this then. Right, I'm going to try and do it myself. So he complained whenever he could.
If I could shudder.
One man advised him to stay the night beneath the gallows. So he would go out and proclaim, if I could only shudder, and then people would be like, try this. So this guy was like, go under the gallows. It's fucking terrifying under there. You get like ghosts come out, you ain't seen me, right? You know, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So beneath this particular gallows, there were 7 hanged men who were still hanging there.
Well, hang on. The hangees, they're like, well, it's 5 o'clock, boys. 5 o'clock on Friday, tavern's just open. Shall we?
Got to pop in some overtime. There's a kid who needs to be scared down there, right? Let's just hang about and see what happens.
I'll leave them there till the morning, Roger. I'm on a promise tonight.
yeah. All right. So there were 7 men hanged there, and they were still hanging, right? So the kid stayed there, and he set a fire for the night underneath the gallows, where the hanged bodies shook in the wind. Now, he thought they must be cold, so he cut them down and he sat them close to his fire, but they didn't stir even when their clothing caught on fire. So he's put those dead bodies around the fire, been like, you're cold, didn't you? He put too close to the fire. A couple of them set fire themselves. Okay. The boy, annoyed at their carelessness, hung them back up on the gallows.
It's a teacher.
He's so angry with them. You caught fire, you bastard.
He's so angry, full stop. You should see what I did to the fucking ghost earlier. Push him down the stairs, mate.
This kid is reckless. Stay away
He
from him.
is.
After the incident at the gallows, he began travelling with a wagoner, so somebody who's got a wagon. When one night he arrived at an inn, and the innkeeper told him that if he wanted to know how to shudder, how to have fear, he should visit the haunted castle nearby. Rumours of that haunted castle, villagers stayed away. Ugh, terrifying. So if he could manage to stay there for 3 nights in a row, he'd learn fear, as well as win the king's daughter, which is obviously a side quest. Like, you stay there for 3 nights, you get a king's daughter chucked in there with you. All the rich treasures of the castle that lay within it.
Nice.
And many men had tried, no one had succeeded.
Right? How good's what the good's like? You know, what's the king's daughter like? Is she all right?
She is of an adequate age.
Fair enough.
The best thing. Right, okay. Yeah, but the treasure, that's how you're going to get it, isn't you? Gucci shoes, Lamborghinis, all that stuff is still...
Marc Jacobs watch.
Marc Jacobs watch, all the shit. That's all up there. Right, the boy's like, yeah, I'll accept the challenge. And he went to the king to ask to be put forward for this trial, this side quest. Right, the king...
I'll sleep in your house for a bit.
The king agreed and told him that he may bring with him 3 non-living things into the castle.
Right.
A weird way of saying you can have some things to bring in.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's a fairy tale. You know, clocks walk around and sing stuff. Like, there's a candelabra over there, like, and he's doing a fucking. There's a whole fucking piece there. You know, it's all that shit. It's like, don't bring any living clocks with you.
Can I bring my armoire with me? She sings.
She sings. Use clothes from previous dead women, like in Beauty and the Beast. It's not the first woman he's tried to get, beast. Calm down, Belle. Save yourself.
You're the last petal, but you're not the first petal.
All right, so the boy, who had no fear, asked for fire, a lathe, a woodworking
Why
lathe.
a lathe?
Okay.
Oh,
I
you're
don't
going
know.
to tell me. Sorry.
Okay. All right. And a cutting board with a knife, which I assume is one item. You know, one.
Right, yeah.
I feel like he's really bent the rules a little bit here.
Yeah. So there's got to be a loophole in that.
Yeah, he's done well there. The first night, as the boys sat down in his room, two voices from the corner of the room moaned into the night, complaining about the cold. It's cold. I'm so cold.
Boy, it's cold.
The boy, unafraid, claimed that the owners of the voices were stupid not to warm themselves with the fire. Right? He's so practical. I love this kid. Right?
He's a fucking arsonist.
You ghosts, fucking hell, get near the fire. Like, okay, and then suddenly, two black cats jumped out from the corner and, seeing the calm boy, proposed a card game. Oi, boy! Oi, boy! Wanna play 21s?
Do you know Pontoon, do boy?
Listening. Blackjack.
Well, you got
Alright.
20 feet, boy.
You said Turkish. Oi, boy, you said Turkish. Yeah, all right. So these like chavvy cats come out and like you proposing a card game from the same corner where ghosts didn't warm themselves. The boy, he's not dim-witted as he seems, right? He tricked the cats and trapped them with the cutting board and the knife. I don't know how. Maybe because cats can get confused that if a cutting board is being pushed towards them, it's a wall. They back away like this, and he's pushed them into a corner, and he's just like, yep. Okay. Okay.
Can they jump over it? No, no, let's not rip that apart because we'll be here all day. No, did he fashion a little cage out of it?
Okay. All right, so while he's doing that, he's trying to trick the cats and he's trying to like trap them with a cutting board. Other black cats and dogs emerge from every patch of darkness in the room. I feel this is like a small like boss battle. Like he's there. He's got the black cats and dogs coming at him. He's got to try and defend himself.
Either that, he's in the wrong place. He's in the fucking RSPCA, mate.
Exactly right.
It's a Battersea fucking dog zone.
He's broken into Battersea Dog Zone.
Yeah.
Innocent cats and dogs, but because he doesn't understand fear or anything, or turn on the lights, he can't see what he's doing.
Let me out. I want to play cards. It's like, you're dead.
All right, so he's gone a bit crazy, and he's fighting off and killing them all with his knife.
Fucking hell! I thought he was just trapping them.
No, there's too many of them. Right, he's killing them all. There's dead, warm bodies of animals everywhere, steam rising from their knife wounds in the cold room. Okay, because it's cold. We know that. The ghost told us. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Right. All of a sudden, then it dies down. Everything's dead anyway. From the darkness, a bed appears. Scary stuff. Why is there a fucking bed appearing there? Okay, normal people. Shit. What's going on? He doesn't care. He lays down on it. Right. And he's preparing for sleep. He's like, I've killed all these animals. This dark room has blessed me with a bed to lay down on.
Tuckered out from all the slaying.
I've slayed so many animals. And he's preparing for sleep. But the bed began walking all over the castle. Okay, so he's on it. It's like bedbugs and broomsticks, taking him on some sort of fantastical journey around the castle. Still not scared, though. This kid is still not scared. The boy urged it to go faster. He's like, wee! I love it! It's like Ramsay's Revenge. So the bed's turning upside down and it's like going crazy. And then the bed goes on top of him, and the boy, unfazed, just tossed the bed aside, got bored, and then slept next to the fire he set until the next morning. All right.
How strong is this kid?
I know. I feel like this
Going
bed
around.
had enough, and it was like, oh fucking, I've had enough. I'm gonna pin you down.
Yeah.
All that happened in night one. Okay.
All right.
All right. As the boy settled in for the second night in the castle, nothing happened.
What was he
during
doing during the day?
Yeah, this is a very
Right.
good point. This is a very
Right.
good point.
Just
Nothing.
chilling out.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Kicking back, playing Xbox, watching Netflix. Okay.
Yeah, nice.
He settled in for his second night in the castle. He's settling down, and then all of a sudden, half of a man fell down the chimney. Just half of him,
Right.
right? You know,
What? Santa's like.
Santa's legs.
Santa's
Right,
legs.
can't talk to him, just legs. The boy, again, unafraid, was just like, he shouted up the chimney so that the other half could hear what the fuck was going on.
Right.
All right, which we now established is the top half, and then like the other half heard the boy, fell down the chimney, and reunited with the rest of his body.
Oh no! So it's I'm lost. You're everyone else down here. Come down here, mate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cheers, mate. Yeah, I'll come down.
Can you chuck my other sock down? The guy came down, reunited with himself, and all of a sudden more men followed, falling down the chimney, with skulls, you know, instead of a fully formed head, and
Right, yeah.
dead men's legs.
I'm just picturing like a couple of men coming down. All right, mate, I've got a sack of skulls and dead man legs if you want any.
That sounds like Halloween sweets. Dead men's legs. Right? The boy, right?
So it's all skeletons then, isn't
Yeah,
it?
skeletons. Yeah. Okay. Right. So
They've got skulls and dead men's legs and dead men's arms. Their hands were like that of a dead man.
boy, was obviously like I spent all day doing fuck all, was really unentertained. So he grabbed these legs and was amused as he created the dead man's legs into a bowling game and used the skulls to create bowling. He used his leg to create better balls with the skulls.
This fucking kid.
So the dead men and the bowling game vanished into thin air. All right, at the end of this. All right, okay. This kid, I'm loving this. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, on the third night, okay, so another day just happens and like nothing goes on. On his third night in the castle, the boy heard a strange noise. 6 men entered the room carrying a coffin.
Oh my god.
All right, spooky. The boy, again, no shudder, unafraid, a little bit distraught though, believed the body to be his own dead cousin. So he thought he saw the body, it was an open casket, and by the familiarity of it, or he's relating something, he thought it to be his own cousin. And because he's still quite young, we forget how young he is, he's trying to warm the body to bring it back to life.
Right.
Right? So maybe rubbing it in various places.
Yeah, it's all right. It's your cousin. You're allowed to do that.
Now, he's getting frustrated that he's not coming back to life, so confusedly threatened to strangle him. I know. Stop being
Get
dead!
warmer. Yeah.
I'll
Come on,
strangle you.
cousin. Get nice and warm for me. What, you don't want it? What, you don't want to be warm again, do you, cousin? I'll fucking strangle you.
This kid, I don't. Okay.
Fucking horrible.
The boy, angry at the body's ingratitude of not getting warmer and being alive, closed the coffin on top of the man. Okay, he's had enough. All right. And then an old man hearing the noise came in to see the boy. He visited with him, bragging that he could knock an anvil straight into the ground. Shit progresses at a crazy rate here.
Right. So where's this old man come from? Like next door?
Next door. I don't know. He's heard it.
Like,
he's like, oh.
Look, listen, boy. 2 nights in a row now, you've been fucking around, making loads of noise, bowling, fucking strangling, killing cats. I've had enough. I'm trying to get my kids down. It's late. They've got school in the morning. I can punch an anvil.
Yeah, literally, it's like he's bragging that he can knock an anvil into the ground, right? So this old man brought him to the basement of the castle, and while showing the boy his trick, he split the anvil and trapped the old man's beard in it. Right, this kid is an evil problem child, right? So
it's
like
fucking incredible Hulk.
The old man is like he's punching the anvil, it's splitting, right? The boy's just like whack, grabs his beard, sticks it in the little split. The man's trapped in there. Right. And then not only that, he just proceeds to beat the old man with an iron rod. What is going on in this kid's head? I've really escalated from pushing a
Fucking
piece
kid.
downstairs.
Jeffrey Dahmer, for fuck's
Beat an
sake.
old man with a rod, okay? Like the
If this
mad.
guy, this guy's so strong, he can fuck up an anvil. He'd be like, "Oh, my beard's stuck. That's it. It's all over." Punch your beard out. I don't know.
Punch your
Yeah.
beard out like Minecraft.
Well, like, just rip it off.
Just do
What's wrong
something,
with you?
mate. Honestly, there's a crazy boy coming at you. He's beating you with an iron rod. The man is so desperate for mercy. He showed the boy all the treasures in the castle. These
Right.
tests have occurred in the haunted castle, and the boy has been successful.
Yeah.
So the following morning, the king told the boy that he could win his lovely daughter. The boy agreed, though upset he'd still not learned how to shudder, how to have fear.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Right, okay. So he's gone through all those hardships, seen some horrible shit, done some horrible shit. He's played bowling with human body parts. He's lathed the skull. He's hit an old man with a stick. Like, he's done it all. Right?
He's killed half of the cats in the county.
Yes, he has. He's had no trouble doing it.
Right. So if you hang on, you've got a daughter, right, and then you've seen right, you are worthy of my daughter. If you saw this kid do that, you'd be like, you're not coming anywhere near my fucking daughter, you absolute mess.
You are a maniac. Yeah, we got a cat.
Yeah.
We love this cat. It's person. Right?
We love cats. We love old people. We hate bowling. We're more like, Laser Quest family. So, fuck off. Like,
Terrifying, right? This kid has gone through some crazy shit and he's done some crazy shit. Like, he married the daughter. She was lovely. And after the wedding, the boy continues complaining.
If I could only shudder.
has he not got enough? He's fucking rich. He's
Married
getting laid
now,
on the
so-
regs. Yeah, like
This might be the case. He'd get married and he's like, oh, fucking no fear now.
yes.
I've seen it to the eyes of hell.
Oh no, I won't do the washing up. I'm brave.
Okay.
The fear.
Right, he's annoyed his wife to no end with this fucking commitment to fear. And reaching her wit's end, she sent for a bucket full of stream water, complete with gudgeons,
Nice little fish.
right? Nature's tiny fish, and she tossed the freezing water onto her husband while he was asleep. As he awoke shuddering, because it was cold, he exclaimed that he'd finally learned how to shudder, but he still did not know what true fear was.
I see.
She's a loving wife. She took it literally, giving him a little bit, but that's to stop him complaining.
Oh,
He's had cold nights, right? Why is he
Yeah.
fucking shuddering? Because he was
Yeah.
clever. He set up fire. He set up fire under the gallows. Set up a fire. He's not.
oh,
he's
too clever for his
he's
own
so
good.
good.
Isn't he? Hey?
So
If I
yeah,
was her,
the
like
end of
she
the
must be fucking brave because the things he did. I mean, a couple of cats said, "All right, boy, do you want to play cards?" And he fucking slayed them
It's like
and their families and dogs. And the old boy is like, "Oh, do you want me to? I'll punch a anvil if you want." He's like, "Yeah, go on then." And he fucking killed
he
him.
just
Like,
twisted on him.
yeah, like that's what he did to people that were nice to him.
I know.
Anyone else,
I know.
she did a horrible thing.
Now, with fairy tales, okay, I don't know, but perhaps with the modern adaptation of them, there's kind of a moral behind it. There's a moral that shows that the fairy tale is a story of evolving from the base
Yeah.
character to, you evolve into, okay, right, I've done this kid.
Hmm.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. He's a fucking
There's no
maniac.
social guidance in this at
No,
all. There's no
no.
there's no like fabric of how to be a decent person in society
No.
in any of these stories so far, really, is it?
No.
To be
In
honest.
the final one, it promotes being a fucking psychopath. You get to
Yeah.
marry a princess and have all the treasure in the castle.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's fucked up. Grim. So funny.
Grim is the pinnacle word for this.
It is. Right, I've got one for you. So we all know the Little Mermaid. Lovely story.
Oh yeah. That's a Hans Christian Andersen tale, right?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, could be. Yeah, it is. How about that? You've done your stuff.
I know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, no, Ursula takes her voice, gives her a pair of legs.
Yep.
She wins the prince eventually. They get married happily ever after.
Yeah.
Right, so in the original story, The Little Mermaid, it's actually quite a disastrous deal, and
Okay.
it does not end pretty for Ariel. That's all, I forgot her name. I was going to say it's Merelda then.
It's so obsessed.
On the mind. Yeah, it doesn't go well for her basically. So she makes a deal with the sea witch.
Yeah.
And what the sea witch actually does, she cuts out her tongue. That's right.
Also, she literally removes her voice.
Yeah.
She can't talk.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it cuts out her tongue. That's gone. And then gives her some legs. And takes her tongue, gives her legs, and she's beautiful. The only thing is, I don't know, like, if you've ever seen like a little baby goat be born. They may have legs, Paul.
Yeah.
They don't know how to fucking use them, do they?
No.
No. So she's got no tongue. She's got these legs. So she comes up to the shore, lays on the beach, goes to stand, and she fucking can't. In actuality, she hasn't really seen how people use these things, has she?
Yeah, that's
She's like
true.
flapping around, she's walking around, gangling around. She can't walk and she can't talk. So she's like, yeah.
She's like a drunk girl on Brighton Beach at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. And like, yeah. So then she bumps into this prince, this guy, and he's like, oh, fuck me. He doesn't think, oh, what dazzling beauty of a well-walking woman with a beautiful voice. He's like, what? This woman's soaking fucking wet. Her skin's like sopping with seawater and seaweed all over it. She hasn't got a fucking tongue because it's all fapping around all over. Exactly like that. She can't even fucking walk. What is this shit? Eventually, basically, he ends up marrying someone else, and because of the state of it, and he literally looks at her and responds to her in the words, kind of a mute het.
Oh my god!
She never returns to the sea and her family, never gets her tongue back, and she's left with khaki legs.
So she just lays on the beach till she learns how to use his legs and then becomes some sort of like weird mute beggar.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. Okay, so she didn't get the idea. I mean, this is the realistic side of things, isn't it? Like in the Disney one, she pops out of the water and she's fucking sprinting. She's doing it's like
Not
a body
but
form
yeah.
advert. She's like horse riding and she's doing all this other stuff. Like she's pirouetting and stuff like that. But no, she couldn't talk and she's on the floor and she's a mess.
Couldn't talk. She couldn't walk. And she couldn't make love.
No, well, she could.
All she could do was watch him marry
Maybe-
someone else.
Just
But the whole time it's like, why are you here?
I want her to watch me get married.
He's actually horrible. He's like, "Hey lads, look at this fucking freak show I found down by the beach here. She's the new jester. Watch her walk. Dance
Right.
for me."
She's just laying there sideways looking at the marriage. Tears are coming out of her eyes. Like, you were supposed to be mine. She's echoing in her head.
The sea witch is down below, like doing the best karaoke night ever, like belting out show tunes like Adele. I'm so happy.
She's loving it. Disney have probably switched these stories round, found the essence of the story to be good, found the ending to be horrific, and been like, "Well,
Yeah.
just switch it around, and we'll change it a little bit to make it a happier ending, to make a morally based story." Which doesn't really, it's not so moral. Like, you have all this hardship and then everything's happy at the end. It's not quite realistic.
Really?
Princes
That-
not gonna come along, and
Yeah.
and sometimes even with the connotations with like Sleeping Beauty and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A man's gonna come round while you're asleep and kiss you. Like,
Yeah.
that's not very good.
We actually got her pregnant in the original tale, didn't we?
Oh my god, he's got to stop doing that.
Yeah. There's
This
one
man-
prince doing it. It's one prince fucking all of these like princesses around the block, around the area. It's like,
He's traveling from district to district. And
yeah,
each district then has this tale of a man who comes into their village and takes a woman.
yeah. So in the original story, he goes up to her, gets her pregnant, and then she wakes up with twins.
Holy
That's
shit!
yeah.
There's a lot of like consent problems
Yeah.
with
And
that.
she wakes
Yeah.
up and she's like, "Well, fucking hell, I've got twins." Obviously, it's the women in these fairy tales. They don't know sex. The princes only. They're the only ones that do know about sex. Do you know
This
what
is
I mean?
true. The men are very
It's-
forward. Like they obviously know. They've gone through wives. They're going through princes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
princesses. Yeah, they you know they
Yeah.
go for princes as
And
well.
princes.
I guess.
Yeah.
Nobody cares, right? Or it's a Disney adaptation where it's gender reversed now, like, like that. But yeah, like as a conglomeration of all these stories, like if you love Disney, okay, go back and have a look at the source material.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot more interesting than animals dressing you, having a song, and all this shit. You're gonna be in reality sleeping under some gallows. You're gonna be spotting a juniper tree and thinking, is that boy's head on or not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't go near a chest full of apples. Like all this stuff. Like, you wish for legs. Know how to use them first.
Yeah, yeah. Wish to know how to use it.
Yeah,
Legs,
think the
not
wish is
eggs.
through. Yeah, think the wish is through.
If you've got some good slippers on, watch out for traps. 'Cause you'll get fucking got. Like, if you've got sexy feet, man, stay away from princes giving you reefs. As simple as that. It's tarts petrol, that stuff. It's danger.
You don't want it. Stay away
Yeah.
from the tropical ones. They got a little tang to them. But yeah, there we go. That's a deep dive into fairy tales, modern equivalents, how they differ. Obviously, now with the knowledge, we know that actual fairy tales stem from some realistic events that have been kind of passed along and told as a story of caution. And then picked up by a couple of chancers called the Grimm brothers, who wanted to make a quick buck off of someone's fucking tragedy. Like, oh yeah, your 4 kids ended up like killing each other, right? And one of them took an apple. Like, days. Sorry to hear that. Your wife was bathing your child, went to see her son kill another boy, took that out and rage, kill him. Then the son in the bath's dead. You came home. Where's dinner? Like all this stuff. Like this, so scary.
We'll tell your story. Don't worry. We'll make you look great. Then they just go to another country, sell the story. Like,
Genuinely,
they're all dead, so they can't contest the rights to the story anyway.
No.
Because the dad died of sadness. He didn't die of sadness. The Grimm brothers fucking had him off. They were like,
they did.
"It's our story now, right? You hear me?"
It's so true. It's so true. But there you go. There you go. So that has been our episode of Fairy Tales. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week, we'll be talking about something completely different. We have a bit of a surprise for you. So we're going to be setting something up. We're going to keep it a surprise for now, but we hope that you do enjoy it. So really tune in and tell everybody that there is a special episode of In My Humble Opinion coming your way. We're going to be very proud of this episode.
Yeah, that's very good.
I mean, Rob's going to be very worried about this episode.
I'm very worried.
He doesn't quite know the ins and outs. It's more of a surprise. So, if you want to find out, as Rob finds out what's going to happen, then please listen. Please listen. Tell everyone, because we all know that Rob's reactions to things happening live are some of the best things that can ever be recorded onto audio.
I'm just going to go to prison, I swear.
I really hope not, but it depends on what type of prison as part of the story. I would like to say this episode has been suggested by somebody. and that was suggested by a friend of mine called Kirsty. So thank you,
Ooh.
Kirsty,
Thank
for
you,
suggesting, looking into fairy tales and Disney equivalents and such. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope everyone's enjoyed the episode. And we'll be looking at further things in the future. So
Yeah.
listen, like our socials will show at the end, or they'll go through at the end of the episode as per usual. If you want to contact us on Instagram, send us in any of your suggestions. It's been quite obvious now that we actually do listen. And, you know, if something does that, we listen to our community. We love our community. We have our code, you know, so that we've listened to the community, won't take the piss too much. And then, you know, you might get on an episode and a shout out. It's genuinely happening as the pod grows. So thank you. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. So yeah, tune in next week. Really urge you to do so. It's going to be something special. And take care. Should have put a proviso at the beginning as well, because some of the tales are a bit scary. So. But no, it's the disclaimer still there, so fuck off.
If you've found this, if you've listened to more than just this episode, then you know.
No, you know that, you know what to expect here, and it's hilarity and complete randomness. So congratulations and thank you for listening. So I've been Paul.
I've been Rob.
As we always are every week. I'll do it. And you've been listening to the In My Humble Opinion podcast. Take care now.
Bye,
Bye.
You have been listening to the In My Humble Opinion podcast, Fairy Tales. Join us on Instagram by searching at humbleopinions_podcast, or TikTok by searching at In My Humble Opinion podcast, or viewing us on YouTube by searching In My Humble Opinion Pod, or one word.